Who do you want to be perceived as a competent person by? By who? By who?
Yourself and your clients.
Who'd you say first?
Yourself.
Yourself.
Yes.
Good answer. It's like, good answer. To feel confident in yourself is one of the greatest feelings about living, right? And know tells me that I had the strength to ask. I had confidence in myself. It also affirms to me that I am not living in fear. That I don't have fear. Isn't fear a horrible thing?
Yes.
Fear is a terrible thing in life. And in sales, it's the ultimate paralyzer. What keeps everybody's income below their potential isn't intelligence, knowledge, knowing the market, knowing a lot of people. It's fear. It's the paralyzer. So when I hear somebody say to me, no, Scott, I don't want your services, what triggers in my mind other than these things is, you know what, at least I'm not afraid. And I'm happy with myself for not being afraid. And it also reminds me that I'm working. That I'm working. I was going to show you on my computer, I couldn't bring my connection. But I get no's almost every day in what I do. And I prospect for what I do in my field. I get no's all the time. And I wanted to show you the no's I got yesterday. I got 4 no's yesterday. I don't see that as a bad thing. Because those 4 no's tell me that I did what yesterday?
You worked.
I worked. I tried. I worked. I didn't sit around waiting for just someone to materially pop into my life and say, Scott, I want your services. Although that happens from time to time, but I can't bank on that. I can only bank upon what? If I'm taking action and I'm in sales. So if you're not getting no's, it's not a reminder to yourself that you're working. And if you notice, you never heard the word rejection. I don't ever see it as rejection. It just means that at this point in time, what I was offering to the person, they didn't want or need it, and I didn't convince them. But there's no rejection there, because rejection is what? It's a bad word. And there is no badness in no. It's all goodness in no. So it's all about changing how you feel about the no that you get. And if you really feel these things at the end of the day, is it scary to make a call to a FSBO? If this is what you're going to get? This is what you're going to get when you call a FSBO. What will you do? You call them. Because I'm going to call a FSBO, because you know what? When I hang up, I'm going to believe in myself. When I hang up, I'm not going to be afraid anymore. When I hang up, I know I'm working. When I hang up, these are all the things that I'm feeling when I hang up the phone. Or before I even dial the phone. Because the other outcome is what? What's the other outcome of the no?
Yes.
Yes! Which means what? Then do you have these feelings again? Times 2. Times 3. All these things materialize to the power of 10 if the person on the other end of the transaction happens to say, okay, come on over. I win either way. Either way I win. Which is what I like. Those are odds that I like. Either way I win. So that's what I'd like it to be for you. If you see no as bad, it is impossible to reach your full potential. You can't do it. It's just, you just can't. If you see no as a badge of honor in your character, you cannot help but reach your full potential. You have to see it as a badge of honor. Getting the word no is a badge of honor for winners in sales. Not in life, but in sales. And often in life. But I'm not here to have life conversations. I can certainly use enough help myself. I'm talking about in sales. That it's a badge of honor. It means that I'm good. And I did what I needed to do in my business to achieve my full potential. And that's what I want no to mean for you. But there is a cousin to a no, which is called I can't. This is the cousin. Can't. And this is just as paralyzing in the world. And the thing that you have to remember about the can't is it's often repeated by those who live in the world of the belief of bad no's. Have you ever, in your real estate career, dealt with another agent who said, you can't do that? Don't do that. Can't do that. Won't work. Can't do it. Can't do it. There's a lot of that in our industry. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that in life. That people who tell you what you can't do, what you can't happen. Don't call, don't do this, don't do that. I was speaking to an agent the other day where I was talking to them about exclusive buyer agency. And the agent was telling me how somebody in her office said to her, don't do exclusive buyer agency. You'll never get a buyer to sign a listing, an agreement for 6 months. Don't do it. Don't do it. And then the realtor was sharing with me the person that shared this with her. And what do you think was my first question? I said, the person who told you that you can't, how successful are they? Not that successful. Because the people who aren't that successful, it helps them. It validates their own success if I get you to do what? If I'm not successful, and I can convince you not to be, that makes me feel what?
Good.
Good! Because I'm not much of a failure, because you're a failure too. That's what people do. Stay away from the people who live in the world of tell you that you can't do, you can't, you can't, you can't. There is no can't. You decide what you can or can't do, and it's all about that. So avoid these people, because as they're convincing you not to act, it validates their own fears and their own failures. Because the last thing I want to do, if you succeed and I live in failure, what does that do to my own belief of my own failure? It multiplies it. It enhances it. It magnifies my lack of success by your success. So I'm going to keep you down. Get rid of them people. Get rid of them. You know, stay away from them. You hear the word can't, get a scissor, cut it out of their tongue.
Oh, can you imagine?
In a symbolic sense. Okay?
Boy, I hadn't figured that out.
There you go. In a symbolic sense. Come on, you'll be the most positive guy in jail. But stay away from them. But the can't is the cousin to the word no. So, any thoughts? Perspectives? Do you agree?
Oh, yeah.
Do you agree?
What?
Do you agree, sir?
Do you agree?
Do I what? I'm
Do
sorry.
you agree?
Agree.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Well, we must have welcomed you.
All right, good.
I read better than I hear, so.
Okay, there you go. So, and that's good for me because I scream. So, with this, what can we commit ourselves to do as a result of this? What should be our commitment to do if you are going to try to adopt the re-engineering thought process of the word no? What would be a great thing to do as a result of this?
Yeah, I guess that's what I have the question with. Is there a particular thing that you don't do in our industry because of any of these?
Of course.
What are they?
Okay, that's...
What are
Like,
some of those
just like you
things?
said, calling FISBO.
Calling
going
FISBOs.
to expired.
Yeah.
You know, calling up the people that already told you, I'm not sure 6 times, and now you're afraid to call them one more time.
There
I
you
mean,
go.
it's all the,
It's all those things.
yeah.
It's almost every call.
It's almost every call.
The cold call is the most fearful thing that you face here.
But the first thing I'm going to share with you is, and it's all about how we've been taught from the top down. Think of the word cold call.
Yeah.
Now, somebody who lives in the world of fear and failure came up with that word cold call
You're right.
because it sends a message to you that it's what? Right before you start, it's what?
Cold.
It's cold.
Yeah.
Who wants something cold? I want something warm and fuzzy. I don't want something cold.
Initial.
It's not about a cold call. It's about I need to share with people that I'm a realtor that has value. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share with people who I am. It's the same thing as a cold call, but it's how you perceive it. It's how you think about it.